Hi, my amazing planner friends. It's Jess from My Magical Planner, and today I'm going to be setting up my weekly spread for the week of April 28th through May 4th. I've already set up my weekly actions, so I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to be taking these into my planner this week and kind of integrating everything. I am going to be using this really cute kit with daffodils from Mandy Lynn Plans. It is called Daffodils, so if you go to her site and in the search column type in daffodils, this pattern will show up for you guys, and you can always use my discount code, which is just10, to get 10% off as well. So let's kind of dive into this. So I know I want to use the day of the week strip with this really bright, vibrant yellow, and I'd like to put my date dots on before I transfer it over. I do this because I can then reference the numbers up here and make sure I'm getting things down in the right order, because sometimes with my dyslexia and ADHD, I'll mess that up a little bit. I'm sure I'm the only one who does that, though. So there's through the 30th, and the 1st is over here. I can't believe we're already into May this week. It just seems incredible that the year has gone this fast in some ways. In other ways, it's felt like forever, but you know, that's always the case. I am a little bit tired and I have a pretty bad headache today, so if I seem a little off, that's why. But I know if I don't do this today that my whole entire week will just feel out of sync. So this is when having one of these sticker kits is really, really helpful, because I don't have to put as much thought into it. I know it's going to be cute and it's not going to take me a ton of time to put together, and it just, I don't know, it just flows really well. So usually I would put my weather in next and I'd put it up here. I'm going to do that later right now because I don't want to pull it up at the moment. So we know that's going to happen. I know I want to cover up this square here, which is what this box here is meant for. So we're going to pull that off. I love that this fits like perfectly. And then I do have an April script I'm going to put in here. I could put May as well, but I think I'm just going to put April. So we have that. I can use this larger box to go over this area if I wanted to. I haven't quite decided on that yet, so I'm going to leave it be for now. But I do know I want a decorative kind of barrier up here because I'm usually not doing anything in this 5 to 6 o'clock hour. So let's go ahead and use, I think, the striped one at the very top. I'm not sure if I want to put this. You could put it on over here if you want to, but because I'm going across the top, I'm not sure if I want it in that spot, so I'm going to set it aside and take the longer strip, which is cut to be this length here. Now I do know I want to put a this week script over here. So maybe what I do is, because I'm not going to be referencing this really this week, I know that for a fact. So let's put the daffodils over that. And then I do have the scripts that go with this. And I'm going to put a this week script right over here. Could put it, you know, let's put it right there. And now for my habits this week, I'm going to do it a little bit different. I have one of, so these are from Mandy Lynn Plans as well. They're habit trackers, but they're vertical instead of horizontal. So I'm going to write a few things in here and then have one kind of set where everything is. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. So this is where I'm taking things from my weekly goal setting in my Makselife and transferring them over. So I'm going to have skincare over here. I'm going to have physical therapy, 8 hours of sleep, and 8 glasses H2O. And the last one I'm actually going to put in here is low FODMAP. So if I complete a whole day where I've done all my low FODMAP stuff, I can check it off. I'm going to go ahead. I might add some other things in here. I'm not sure, but we're going to start there. And this way I can check. Like, I thought about putting mood in here as well. But this way I can check them all off and kind of save some space too. I am putting that more off to the side, so I'm not taking up a line. I could have, but the way I put it in, I didn't. Then below this, I have a couple of things that I also wanted to put in. So I have these to clean little scripts. I think these are from I want to say Planner Kate, so they're a little bigger, but I can still use them in the side column. And so I'm going to have 2 of these to clean down here, and I'm going to pick specific rooms this week that I want to focus on. So my bathroom, and linens. I have a linen closet I really wanted to get through this week, so those are my goals there. Then I have a couple of other like errands or to-do type things that I want to put in here. So let's go over here and maybe I'll make a bigger to-do section over here and leave this for the moment. Yeah, let's do that. So the first thing that I think I want to mark down is, so I'm not going to be using the times this week. I think I'm just going to put what needs to be done up in this area and then be able to use this area for other things this week. So let's go ahead and do that, which includes, you know, since I'm going to be doing that, let's put this down here. And this is where I'm going to do my meal planning for the week and put all of our dinners in. So I do have a little dinner script here that is yellow. So maybe I add a little bit of deco. Because it is yellow, it's a little bit harder to see. So maybe if I put this in here and then have this on top of it for the dinners, and I might pull in an icon on this side. I have to look at what colored icons I have. So 4 things going on this week. I know on Monday, I'll use one of these green ones. And like I said, I'm not using the times on here. I'm just going to be putting what we have going on up in this area. So on Monday, we have a doctor's appointment for Megan. And I will put in the time in just a little bit here. And then, let's see, I think that's all we have on Monday, actually. On Tuesday, Emily has some standardized testing. So I'm going to mark that as well. I think it's just her. I think Megan had hers last week. So I'm going to put testing on Tuesday and Thursday for her. I'll know by looking at this what child that goes to, because I know which ones are in testing this week, so I just need that. You could always add in what child, if or color coded, however that works for your family. And then on Tuesday, I don't really have anything else currently. Wednesday, I have a lunch. So I think there might have been a lunch date on here. Let's see. Sometimes it's hard for me to find things because it's not in like an alphabetical order. Okay, I don't see it there. Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I pulled in something else. So I do have this script. This is one of her other types of scripts. Now, the fork and spoon that are attached here isn't colorway going to match this. So all I'm going to do is take my scissors and cut that part off. No biggie. So I can still have the lunch date portion, although I think I'm going to trim it just a little bit more because I don't want this little bit here, and I want that to be more like that. Perfect. So now I can put, let's use yellow for the lunch date. So I have a lunch date with my husband's aunt. All right, and I think that's all. Well, hold on. We have art club, and I'm not sure if Emily's going to be staying after as well. So let's put one of these down. And I will put clubs on here, and Meg and Emily. And I think she's going to art club. And if Emily is staying after for study hall, then we can figure that out. Then on Thursday, we have a specific thing that'll be happening on Thursday. So my husband usually buys season tickets to the U of M hockey games, and they go on sale on Thursday. So I'm going to put that to buy. Oh, and that's crooked, isn't it? Hold on. Let me fix that. I'm going to put hockey tickets here. Okay. So, besides hockey tickets, on Thursday, Megan has physical therapy. So maybe I'll do that in a little lighter green. And then I will also have something this day, which I'll put in yellow, just to have kind of everything together there. So I did pull out some scripts. So again, I have speech therapy, which is something one of my other daughters was doing for a while. And we're just going to cut off the speech portion. And put that there. And I'm going to put Megan physical. It seems to be helping with her shoulder. And then this one is my ADH group, which is really nice. And then that's everything for that. Friday is trash day. I usually try to set it out on Thursday before I leave for my ADHD group, but I know trash day's on here. Let me look. I know it's here. Oh, there's trash. I thought it said trash day, but I guess it just says trash. That's okay. So Friday is trash day. And then it's check-in day for me. So this is like kid check-in, family check-in, whatever you want to call it. I think I'm going to do that differently. So then I have the weekend. I have a walk with a friend. And since I seem to have mostly used yellow for my things, we're going to continue with that. And I'll put a yellow up here for my walk, because I think it's gotten nice enough that we'll be doing walks again. All right. And then Sunday I have doing my planning stuff. So for that one, I'm actually going to use this cute thing here and pull out the planning time, which is one of these. Hold on. There it is. I knew it was here somewhere. So we'll put planet time right there. All right, now I know I want to kind of break this off. I'm going to give myself a little extra room in here, but I am going to make a barrier for the bottom half. So I think I'm going to make it at 12. That gives me room if things come up to add them in without issue. Perfect. Now for this portion over here, I'm actually going to take my mile liner, I think, and let's see, does this one have a name on it? Some of mine do and some of them don't. Gold is what this one's called, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty close match for the colors of the kit. So what I'm going to do is, I'm trying to decide if I want to make it all the way across. I think I do. So we're going to make it all the way across, and I'll do every other line. Now this won't be perfect, but what this is going to do is help bring my eye to the different lines. So if I have lots of things going on, I can find them without having to look too hard and have a running kind of to-do list or errands list for the week. Because there are several things I feel like need to be on here that don't really fall in this category, that were more towards like goal type stuff. So in here, I think I'm going to use one of my to-dos, and I'm also going to use one of these boxes, I think the dark green. And I'm going to label this area to-dos. And then I'll be able to go in here and write all of those in here. I do think I'm also going to use all of my strips this week. And I'm going to put one all the way down here as well. I think that's probably good for my to-dos area. So I'm going to start it right here. So I'm lining this up right with the one down here to go all the way across. Now what I'm going to use this small area for is gratitude, which I think is super important this week. So since it's such a dark color, I'm putting the gratitude right on there. And then I'm going to use dots and put them right over here. I'm covering up the 3 with them and moving it all the way along. So I'll have a spot to write my gratitude for the day, or something special, something memorable, something of that nature. Okay, so there's that. And then in this area over here, now I think I'm going to use a different color marker over here for some of the things I'm going to do over here. So let me figure out, I think a green one would be really good. Okay, I think this one may not be too bad. This is again, my liner. And let's see, the color on this one is, oh, it's just green, I guess. So over in this area over here, what I'm going to do, I think I am going to use a smaller end actually. And we're going to mark this off. So this area is going to become my next week. Now, if I wanted my lines to be perfect, you can put down a ruler and go against the ruler and all of that. I don't mind so much if I'm a little wavy sometimes. Depends on my mood, but today it's fine. I think that has to do with my headache, to be honest. So over here, again, I'm going to pull in a box to put my next week in because I think it'll draw more attention to this area. So there's that, and here is my, actually that's not straight, is it? Hold on. Let's make it a little straighter. I think that's straighter. So this is next week. So anything that comes up that's going to be over next week, I can put in this area and I know it's coming. Then that leaves me with this area, right? So I think I'm going to use some of these specialty boxes over here. So these are going to be more type social media things that maybe I want to get done and that type of thing. So I'm going to put that one there and then maybe this one here. I think I only have those two that kind of go together like that. And I'm going to put YouTube here. And then I will have my 3 videos. I haven't picked those out yet. And then in this one, we're going to have Insta. And the goal is to have 3 posts there as well. So I have that. That also leaves me this area here still, which I can either use these boxes here and be able to stack them there for something, or I can pull out other boxes like this to put in here. Currently, I think I'm going to leave it blank because I'm not sure what I want in there. And let's fill in the to-dos. So I want to make sure everything that I have here on my weekly actions is going in here in some form. So for personal, I'm finishing out the month with skincare stuff. So one of the things I wanted to do this week is write down my skincare. Now, to go with that, I think I'm going to record a bonus video, which I'm going to put down here kind of underneath it, which is unboxing and talking about my skincare routine. Not that I'm like a skincare guru or anything, but I just ordered stuff, so I might as well. So I have that. And that is everything I have under the personal section. Now I have fun and recreation, schedule me time. So currently, I don't have anything on Friday. So let's go ahead and schedule me some downtime on either Friday or Thursday during the day. I'm going to say I want to be productive on Friday. I'm going to have a lot in the evening here. So it would make more sense to do it on this day. So I'm just going to add it here at the bottom. I mean, I could, these are removable. We can move things down, can't we? So let's go ahead and do that. So that, oh, I don't know why I did that. Okay, maybe we won't, because that one just tore a little bit. That's okay. We'll put it down here at the bottom. And I'm going to say me time. And I'm going to put an AM here. So I remember it's for the morning is what I'm blocking out for myself. All right. Next, we have work and learning, which is the 3 videos. Pick a day for editing. I'm going to say Monday should be my editing day. And Tuesday should be a record day. So I am, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. Because I'm looking at the color coding, right? I have most of my other stuff in yellow. So let's do yellow. Where did I put my, there they are. So I'm going to put this right at 9, which hopefully I'll have all set by then. I haven't finished my monthly planning. We'll see how it goes, but that's a goal. Today is Sunday. I know I have at least the one I want to get out on Wednesday recorded already. And if I have to switch these up, it's okay. Schedule a record date. I think I'm going to do that for Tuesday because that makes sense to me. I don't have anything else there, so I'm not going to be interrupted constantly. So I'm going to say YouTube. Record day. Perfect. Oh, and then I have on my things to do here, plan out content for May, which I've kind of started to do, but I haven't put the finishing touches on that yet, so we're getting close. I just need to put it all together kind of thing. And then for family and relationships, I have a couple things I need to do here. I need to make an appointment with the school for Emily. This is for her advocacy. I'm trying to get her a 504. And then I also need to put all 504 materials together. And then I need to, for my son who's graduating, we need to make invites. And then order them, making that its own line. Sorry, my family's texting me. we need to print the guest list. And I think, oh, there's one other thing. Order senior sign. So our school is doing that. And that way I can order it for the graduation party. We can just put it out front so people know they're in the right place. And I think that will be helpful. And then order grad decorations. So that's on there. As far as the health and wellness, I have the PT over here and the low FODMAP kind of there, but for this we're going to order pre-made meals. I have a service I want to try out. You guys are interested in that, I can do a review on it and tell you all about it. But if you're not, that's totally fine. It's for people with intestinal issues, and it's a harder diet, so without having my family's support and knowing I still need to cook for them, I'm going to try it as a go-between of ordering some pre-made stuff and see how that goes. So next, for my spiritual and personal growth, I have some things that I need to do for therapy reasons, because so my normal therapy, which is just like general therapy to help me with my anxiety and my ADHD and everything. I have ADHD group therapy to help me understand stuff, maybe make some more connections and dive deeper into the ADHD. And I don't know, group therapy is something that has really been beneficial for me. And then I started last week with, there's only a couple places in the country that do this, but there is a specific type of therapy for people with stomach issues that has been proven to help a lot of people. Whether or not it's going to help me, I don't know. That's another thing that if you guys are interested in, I can do a separate video on. I just don't know if that's something that's going to interest you guys. So I did my first appointment last week, and they were supposed to call me to set up the next appointment, which they haven't done. So I need to follow up with the next appointment. And then I also need to read chapters 1 through 4 in a book. Hold on, what's the name of the book? I downloaded it so I could read it. Mind Your Gut. And then she also wanted me to watch an episode of something called Hack Your Health on Netflix. So we'll see about those. And then I wanted to do some research for the ADHD group. And ADHD. So I have that there. I have track spend, my only thing for financial. Maybe I could put that down here. Let me think about that one for a minute. Then I also want to make my spring cleaning list, which I still haven't done. I've been meaning to do for a couple weeks, and I need to get the house back on track because I was gone for 3 days, and it amazes me how fast everything kind of goes sideways. Okay, so there's all of that. Now I'm not going to put anything more in here about the YouTube stuff as far as that goes. However, since it is the beginning of the month here, I do like to track my stats. Let me see. Do I have a smaller box or something that I could put here to track stats? Or maybe just a reminder? Let's do a reminder down here to track stats. So that'll be my YouTube reminder there. And then we left this column blank. Now, the other thing that I always do for my family, and it's even more important when we come to the end of the month, is a check-in for each family member to make sure that everybody's good and everything. So I do have a little script here that says check-in day, which would be on Friday anyhow. So let's find a box to put that in. I think that works pretty well. Put it in that box. And then I'm going to use the checklist down below it to mark off my family. So I'll use one of these checklists. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6 is me. So I'm going to put a little box down here at the very bottom for a me check-in. So I'm going to put, let's see, we're going to put Jared. And I'm just going to put their names here, and then I can check off after. And I'll probably track if they need anything in a different location. Now we're back to this with the financial tracking. So I don't think I have anything on here that I really need to use for that. But what I can do, let's use the green again, I think, to go across at the 4. And then I'll find something to signify a dollar amount to put at the bottom here. I have something in one of these. Is it this one that has icons? Yes. So let me see here. It'll be at the front of my icons. We have little dollar signs that are actually Mandy Lynn Plans. So let's use those for my daily spends. And then I don't feel like I need to label it because, I mean, the dollar sign's pretty universal. Oh, and it looks like I have exactly 7 there. Helps me use them up, and it fits perfectly. There we go. So there is my weekly spread and how I'm using all of my Makselife stuff and getting it in here, and how I'm separating everything out for what needs to get done this week. It does feel like a lot, but I think this is going to work pretty well. So anyhow, that's all I have for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am hopefully going to have a video out on Wednesday and Friday and Sunday. Those are my goal days. So anyhow, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me down below. And if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And don't forget that subscribe button over there. Until next time, I'll see you real soon.